World War III has just ended. NATO had achieved victory against the Shangli, which namely consisted of Russia, China, and India. Not too much changed, however, a majority of Russia became Ukraine, with a small northern portion of Russian nationalists that stayed Russia. China's communist government was overthrown and replaced with a democracy, and nothing of note changed in India. A man named Nathan Henry finds what he considers to be a pretty cool rock, even though it's not really that cool. Queen Elizabeth and the new Pope, Pope Henry, the guy who found the not really cool rock, have a 6-sword battle. It ends in a draw due to the fact that the Queen can't die and the Pope has the power of God on his side. What's left of Russia invades Ukraine, only to be defeated and taken over within a day. Beloved zoo penguin Hippity was convicted of assault and sentenced to 25 years in prison after he stole the arm of a visitor who got a bit too close to the exhibit. Hippity, promptly after getting sentenced, stole the lungs of the judge and escaped. His whereabouts are still unknown. Sharknado 12, Sharks in Love, is released. The next day, an angry mob of people fed up with Sharknado kidnap the directors and feed them to sharks. Somehow, without anyone noticing, a country named Africa takes over the entirety of Africa, making Africa both a country and a continent. No one is entirely sure who the leader of Africa is, though. Hippity the penguin is tracked down and cornered on an iceberg, leading to a 12-day shootout with the police, which ended with Hippity's death. The coroner in Hippity's case inspects the body only to discover that the dead penguin was Hippity's twin brother, Hoppity, who was used as a scapegoat, allowing Hippity to escape. Officials around the world continue to search for the psychotic penguin. North Korea votes for a cat to be president. The cat's first order is to nuke North Korea, causing a nuclear war between North Korea and North Korea, which leads to the decimation of North Korea. South Korea, on the other hand, voted in a dog and currently has the highest happiness level out of all the countries. Pope Henry is fired by God after he posts a controversial picture of a rock on Twitter with the caption, "White shiny rock superiority." Pope Henry, in a public statement later, stated, "I apologize for my actions. All shiny rocks are equal, regardless of color." France ceases to exist. Happiness levels around the world skyrocket, eliminating 99% cases of depression. Canada also suddenly stops speaking French at the same time, raising their happiness level by over 25%. The penguin Hippity steals the island of Taiwan. Its whereabouts are still unknown, however former Pope Henry was spotted with Hippity, leading professionals to believe they are working together. The President of America, Thomas Sidley, renames America to McDonald's Gunland, and promptly gets sued by McDonald's for copyright reasons, and then gets impeached by Congress, who changes the name back to America. The Kangaroo Rebellion starts in Australia. After a valiant holdout, the Australians are overrun by the Kangaroos with AKs, who instate a new fascist government with the goal to eradicate all humans. After about 3 days of the new government, a local Australian, high off of spider venom, single-handedly took out all of the kangaroos, reinstating the Australian government. The new Star Wars movie drops, which is just the scene from LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga with the hot tub stormtroopers and the Cantina song playing. Within the week, it becomes the top-grossing film of all time, with one fan saying, "My faith in Star Wars has been renewed. I am literally willing to sell both of my kidneys to get more money for tickets so I can watch it in theaters as many times as I want." The famous YouTuber ProbablyObsidix reaches 100 million subscribers, and God personally thanks him for existing. Speaking of which, this would be a great time to like the video and subscribe. Europe changes over from the imperial measurement system to the metric system for no other reason than it would be funny. America, insulted by Europe mimicking them, switches to using the wing length of an eagle as measurement. Dubstep becomes popular again, along with dabbing for some reason. On a completely unrelated note, depression rates start to rise around the same time. Apple releases the iPhone 27s XL Ultra Edition, now with 15 cameras and a new charger that doesn't connect with any other devices. It also uses rechargeable AAAs to power it. The world's first talking animal is created. It's a horse from Mexico named Juan. They accidentally boosted its intelligence, however, making it one of the smartest creatures in the world, leading it to sue for its freedom from the scientists that made it. Juan the horse is voted president of Mexico. His first act as president is buying the state of Florida from the United States. After an intense bidding war, they settle on $40 US and Florida is sold. The Minecraft 2.0 Aether update finally drops, allowing portals to be built out of glowstone and water, with the new Aether realm being released. An extra day is added onto April for the fun of it, completely throwing off the calendar and causing mass confusion. A group called the Internationalists are formed, trying to achieve anarchy through unconventional means. Their first act is swapping the locations of Iceland and Greenland without anyone noticing. After a brutal war, Florida declares independence from Mexico and forms their own country. Florida is briefly the richest country in the world because they only have one coin minted, which could buy anything in the fledgling country. The reason they're only briefly the richest is because America takes them back, gloating to Mexico on how they got $40 for free now that they had Florida back. Scientists finally come up with a cure for short people. SpaceX are preparing to launch a supply rocket to provide supplies to the Martian colonies. However, Hippity hijacks the rocket with the intention to retire on Mars where the cops can't follow him. However, tragically, there's a software error and the rocket misses Mars and sends Hippity in the cold heart of space. An investigation into the rocket discovers that Hippity and Hoppity weren't actually twins, but triplets, the third brother being Happity. Happity, who had never forgiven Hippity for causing the death of Hoppity, had rigged the spaceship so that Hippity could die avenging Hoppity. The Leaning Tower of Pisa becomes the Horizontal Tower of Pisa after an earthquake shifted the ground it was on. People realize that California is gone. As it turns out, it had been gone for several months, just slowly floating away, and everyone had failed to notice. Oreo creates its 500th flavor of Oreo, the new 7G flavored Oreo, with the caption, "Your devices love it, and so will you." A voice echoes from the heaven, glorious in all ways, it spoke. It's pronounced Jod, not God.